Time now for This Week in Auto History on the End Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Konrad has that for us.
So, George B. Selden first filed a U.S. Patent Office patent for the internal combustion engine on May 8th of 1879. It included an application for the device of a four-wheel vehicle. So Selden, who was a patent attorney, this week in 1895, patented his automobile. He called it a four-wheel engine. He didn't call it an automobile. And it allowed him to collect royalties for nearly every car built in the United States until Henry Ford challenged his patent. And so, for years, this guy was making royalties.
It was fun while it lasted.
And then in 1938, Ford Motor Company debuts Mercury, the brand. It unveiled the new mid-priced automobile brand Mercury in 1938 at a public showing at the Grosse Pointe, Michigan car show. Championed by Edsel Ford, Mercury sought to fill the gap between Ford and the luxury Lincolns, kind of that tweener car. And if you look at the other tweeners that were out there in the industry, on the GM side, it was between Chevy and Cadillac. The tweeners would have been Buick, Pontiac, and Oldsmobile. The market for this type of car has been proven by those competitors, but in its debut year, they sold 66,000 Mercurys for Ford. And then actually there was a Mercury pickup truck in the late 40s as well. So interesting thing. In 1980 was the passing of Steve McQueen. Why is he in a...
They're not over.
Oh, never mind. I'll talk about this one.
Yep.
The first Polish victory lap by Alan Kulwicki, who is of Polish descent out of Wisconsin. And he won the NASCAR Winston Cup back in the days when it was Winston Cup. And in his win, he drove the first Polish victory lap, which was driving around backwards on the track.
Is that the car?
No, that was the car that they did.
In reverse. He drove it the opposite way.
The opposite way on the track.
Right.
Where typically they're all turning left and he was all turning right. And created quite a stir. And it's now created that Polish victory lap is done in other motorsports as well. But Alan Kulwicki was the first one to do it.
And it's a tribute to him, too.
Mm-hmm. And then hopefully my Steve McQueen
it's coming up
here. Okay, so Steve McQueen passed away this week in 1980. Several of his movies, including the most famous chase scene through the streets of San Francisco, Bullet, McQueen conducted much of his own driving stunts. In one scene of The Great Escape, he can be seen chasing himself thanks to careful editing, which is because the directors said it was too hard to find skilled motorcycle riders as McQueen. But, to me, Bullet's one of the best chase scenes in automotive history. One of my favorites to watch. Mm-hmm. And then in 1989, this week, Infiniti was launched. Nissan's luxury car division, Infiniti, launched the same year that Toyota launched its upscale Lexus brand. The original Infiniti lineup was really just two vehicles, the Q45, the big four-door sedan, and the M30, which was the little two-door coupe.
It's this one here, the M30?
That's the M30, right. Infiniti had a wheelbase about 2 inches shorter than its Nissan President, or Japanese domestic market vehicle that the Q45 was built off of. The Q45 originally offered a 278 horsepower four-wheel steering active suspension car, aimed at Mercedes S-Class, BMW 7 Series, Jaguar XJ, and Cadillac Fleetwood. Did you ever drive any of the original Infinitis, Don?
No.
Were you doing cars then?
No. But that ugly round thing just was not my cup of tea ever.
That was the J30, that catfish-looking thing. Yeah,
hated that thing.
So that's This Week in Automotive History.
All right, thank you, sir.